Yo, what is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here, and today I am so excited for a couple of different reasons. One of them being we have a really cool new story to talk about. We have a new rumor slash new roster move confirmation. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll be getting into all of that. But the other thing is that, hey, since we have a new rumor, a new roster move, whatever happening, that means we're in the season where a lot of other roster moves and things are going to be happening. So even if you are not specifically, excited or caring about this move specifically, but I think most people will. I think it is a very interesting and exciting one. Obviously, that's why I'm making this video. But either way, it means that, hey, more is yet to come. Your favorite players, your favorite teams, whatever, are about to be finding out what the future has in store for them for the summer split. And that's always an exciting time for me as a League of Legends fan, somebody who just loves talking about this stuff, loves hearing what's next, loves thinking about it, theorizing about it, but also obviously as somebody who has a YouTube channel, likes making content, and likes having my content perform well, and hopefully you guys enjoy, watching all the content. It means we're going to have tons of new videos coming soon. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this one. I would appreciate that so much. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. As you guys can see here, we got something new in the frame. This is my new mic. We've been having some audio issues. Obviously, the channel makes some money, so we had to do a little bit of reinvesting. We have a new mic. This is the Shure MV7. So hopefully we have some crispy new audio. Hopefully you guys do appreciate that. And maybe that makes you want to drop a like or subscribe even a little bit more. That'd be awesome. With that being said, let's get right into this. Hopefully the settings are all good. Hopefully it's the right volume. I don't know. We'll figure the rest out, but at least we got a new mic. It's finally here. But today, what we're talking about is this. A new rumor. This is from Horizon Esports, obviously, a big esports company, especially over in the East, and a pretty reputable one and pretty reliable one. They tweeted out, I quoted, he back. I farmed my 4 likes off of it, but they tweeted out, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, but Nuguri is returning to the professional scene. This is really exciting. Obviously, this guy was on Damwon Kia. Well known for his run with Damwon Kia, moved over to FPX, a very high profile signing, and that was really exciting, and people were interested to see how that was going to go. Didn't exactly go great. Nuguri wasn't the same Nuguri from Damwon Kia that he was on FPX. Obviously, he was part of the FPX team where expectations were sky high. This is DoinB, Nuguri, all these players getting together, and they were great in the LPL. They had an amazing record. They had a good run. They had a good finish, but then, part of the collapse at Worlds, they end up not even getting out of groups. Cloud9 takes them down. The Cloud9 team that finished 3rd in North America, was a 3 seed from North America. Overall, really disappointing stint for Nuguri with FPX and poor international finishes and all this stuff. But of course, that led to Nuguri, moving on and from them parting ways. And then Nuguri was sitting out in Spring Split. He didn't have a team. He didn't play. We heard LS saying, hey, this guy would probably come back, even to maybe an organization like TSM. This guy wants to play. He's waiting on offers. He doesn't want to just sit at home and play solo queue all day. And now, obviously, he is back. He's returning to the professional scene. This is something that a lot of people will be excited about. This guy is so fun to watch play. He makes huge plays. He ints. He does it all. But, there's almost never a boring lane or a boring game when Nuguri is involved. So that is very fun and exciting to watch. But the big news is that Nuguri will be rejoining his former team, Damwon Kia, in the 2022 LCK summer season. So that is really cool, and that is what the new rumor. Again, they are saying that this is according to their sources. Their sources are confirming this. To my knowledge, this hasn't been tweeted out by Damwon Kia or anything yet. Obviously we can go to their Twitter page and stuff. But yeah, I don't think this has actually been announced. It doesn't look like this is official just yet. But this is the rumor. They are getting confirmation on this. Again, this is, pretty big, pretty reliable, pretty reputable sources. And this is kind of interesting because obviously Damwon Kia, known for being one of the best Korean teams, known for being one of the best teams in the world, known for being a threat at international competition, competing for titles, all this stuff. But they're coming off an LCK Spring where they went 11-7 before ultimately getting bounced by Gen G out of the playoffs. So, hey, they weren't the best team in the regular season. They didn't win the title. They're not going to MSI. yes, this was a crazy LCK season where there was all kinds of COVID and, delays and restrictions and all this stuff. And people are kind of putting a big asterisk by T1's, undefeated run and all this stuff. But still, T1 is like the dominant team. And then Gen G is also second. Damwon is tied for third with DRX. So, there's like questions of, hey, if things kept on this track, would they even be able to make it to Worlds? Yes, obviously 4 teams from Korea are going to make it. So they're in line to make it. But, if they, regress at all or get worse or somebody else gets better in summer, maybe they're at risk. But either way, if they're not even the best team in Korea, then how are they going to go, win a world championship or compete for a world championship or anything, especially when you have the LPL that's really, really strong. And if we take a look at Damwon Kia in the spring, one of their clear weaknesses was the top lane. They have Burdol, I'm not exactly sure how you say it, in the top lane. And some of his stats, this is from Oracle Elixir, Tim Sevenhuysen's website, from the spring split regular season. KDA, in terms of all the top laners that played at least 30 games, I kind of tried to filter some stuff out because obviously the LCK plays best of 3, so they have a ton of games. They get more subs in and stuff. But of everyone that played, kind of a middle of the pack KDA, not so bad there. KP, kind of low, 53.2%. Not getting super involved in the KP. Death percentage, he had the second highest share of deaths of any top laner in the LCK spring, which is kind of rough. But what I really think is most concerning is his laning stats. Not a great laner. Second lowest gold differential at 10 of any top laner in the LCK. And CSD was dead last, so that is very, very rough. In terms of the other stat that I was trying to take a look at was damage per minute. He is fourth to last there. So overall, kind of a middle of the pack to below average top laner in most of the statistics. Now, yes, those are just stats. How much do stats mean? Yada, yada, yada. But I think most people who even follow the LCK closely or are fans of Damwon Kia or whatever, it really did look like Burdol and their other top laner, Hoya, were kind of the weaknesses of the team. And again, we don't know exactly what Nuguri we're going to get. We don't know if we're going to get the old LCK, Damwon Kia, absolutely cracked Nuguri that just carries games, pops off, does all these crazy builds, does all these hype plays, or if we're going to get the FPX Nuguri that, is maybe more of a wild card and maybe more up and down with some really great performances and some really bad performances. But either way, I think at this time it's a move that a lot of fans are going to say is probably worth the risk because, again, the potential for Nuguri to be great could really, really help this team out, which I obviously think is going to be very, very interesting to follow. And the thing here is, stats can be affected by champion pick and all that stuff. But if we look at some of Damwon's games, it's not like Burdol was playing a bunch of, tanks or a bunch of picks that are scaling or like should be losing lane or anything like that. Like if you go to some of these games, here's Burdol and Sion, obviously there, maybe you can give him a pass for damage per minute or CS or whatever, but here's a Camille game, and then here is a Graves game. Like, he was playing a little bit of everything. They were giving him all different kinds of picks. It's not like, here's a 6-0 Akali game where he kind of popped off. Then here's a Gragas game. He's really playing everything. He's playing some range top laners. He's playing some melee carries. He's playing some tanks. He's doing a little bit of everything. So I don't think that, champ pool is necessarily a thing that was holding him back or, they weren't letting him play to his fullest or that, the champion pool is going to like negatively impact his stats or whatever. So yeah, just kind of interesting there that yes, top lane was for sure a weakness for Damwon, especially considering, again, they were the third best team in the league. And when you play on one of the top teams, your stats should be a little bit inflated because imagine if you played on one of the lower teams, you're going to be dying more. The other team's going to be more fed. It's going to be easier for them to kill you. You're going to have more deaths, worse laning, all that stuff. So if you're playing on one of the better teams and you still have mediocre to below mediocre stats, that is a really, really bad sign. But it will be very, very interesting to see how Nuguri is able to do for Damwon Kia. If they're able to compete more closely with Gen G and if they're able to take, series off of T1 in the summer, and then whether or not Nuguri can help this team getting back to being not only one of the best teams in the LCK, trying to win a title, but can he get them back to being one of the best teams in the world and maybe competing for a world title? Because again, the third team in the LCK, yes, they have a chance. Any Korean team is always going to have a chance at Worlds, but the third or fourth best team in the LCK, they're not going to be going in as like a title favorite because they haven't even proven to be better than the other Korean teams, let alone all the other teams in the world. So, going to be very, very interesting to see. But either way, one, super excited to see Nuguri back in pro play. Super excited to see him back on Damwon Kia. And super excited that this mini offseason between spring and summer is finally upon us. We're getting some moves, and I can't wait for what's next. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. I'm going to drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this move or what move you think should happen next. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.